This conference will now be recorded.
Ready for your next meeting?
I'm good.
No more meetings?
I'm good.
All right. Committee meeting.
That's Bill? Mr. Johnson? Okay. Are there any other commissioners out there? Oh, Ed, Mr. Jackson? Okay. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get our meeting started. We're going to call to order the meeting for the Real Estate Community Development Committee meeting will now start. Patrick, do we have a quorum, or how we look today?
Yes, sir. You do have a quorum with all members of the committee present.
Wonderful. That's great. That is so good. Thank you, everybody, for coming out in this heat and taking the time to be present for this particular meeting. So I guess at this point in time, we can go to approval of the minutes. We've got minutes to approve for June and minutes to approve for April. And if we can get a motion for approval, we can move through that.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Brody. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Elliott. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll move for a vote. We'll do roll call since Commissioner Johnson is virtual. Commissioner Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Aye.
Commissioner Elliott,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Pitchford.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Minutes are approved.
And good evening to you, Commissioner Johnson. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Do we have to vote anyone in this afternoon, Patrick, or we're good?
I apologize.
Did we have to vote anyone in?
So, unless Commissioner Jackson would like to participate remotely tonight, but no, if not, we can proceed with the meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, no, good evening, everyone. It's not necessary for me to be voted in. I'm just, I'm here observing and just learning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're always glad to have your presence with us in all the meetings, that's for sure. So thank you for everything you do to assist us in moving forward as a housing authority. The next thing is citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments, Sade?
No citizen comments.
No citizens. Okay, we'll move through that. And I don't have any either. I'm just excited about a couple of things that I've been through. I guess those call comments about a couple of things that I've been through with the Mount Moriah church event that we had the other day on, I guess it was the 23rd or something like that. And where Ms. Sherrill will have comment on that in a little while. And so will Mr. Steve Nesmith. But I was so excited about it. And me and the chair turned up there. We were so elated about a lot of the things that the residents had to say and their comments and the fact that they're just involved, just involved in what's going on with it. And Ms. Pitchford can probably have some comments on that at some point in time there. She was also there. So we just thank everybody for coming out and participating in these and all events that you can come to. Whenever you can come to an event that's even out of the order of a committee meeting, it's certainly good to see you, even with the Anna Juna Cooper, where Ms. Brody was our speaker there. So these are just great activities to go to, and they're involve you in the community, and people from the community can see you there and they can relate to you and said, hey, they're really care. They're coming out here and getting involved with us. So I want to thank everybody for their participation with that. Thank you. So Steve, we want to go into the real estate department portion where you take over with Ms. Hampton. Can you walk us through that?
Thank you, Vice Chair. We'll do that. I just want to comment also, as you did, on the meeting we had last week at the Greater RRHA Church. I agree with you. It was very substantive. I think the residents asked a lot of questions about their future, the future in the project. I think that's always good. I think one thing that's really notable for me is that the groups that used to show up at our meetings and at city council who should yell and say, down with RRHA and all that, maybe down with Steve Nelson, they were there speaking politely. We have, just so you know, we have engaged them now. So we're no longer in that sort of having those type of conversations. We really now are engaging with them offline, online, saying, what do you want? I actually went to them and told them, I asked them for their forgiveness, that maybe I got off on the wrong foot. And we are now in conversation. And the leader of that group, she was there. She and I have had really substantive conversation. Mr. Nesmith, we all want the same goal, and we may have different ways to try to get there. We have the same goal, and so the reason why there was a great conversation because we're not at odds. And and it's a great thing to be able to agree to disagree, be able to say, let's have a conversation. So it was just a great meeting. It was great to see Commissioner Pitcher there. Even I was surprised her husband was there chiming in and giving some good comments. But so it was a good resident engagement. We're going to continue to do it.
And Steve, before you go any further, I wanted to thank Chad for coming out too. Chad Williams with the city. So that shows this MOU that we're putting together. They're working on it already, because he was available there for questioning and he made comments also.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate him being there as representing the city.
So what we've decided, the mayor's team and I, is that we're going to be on singing off the same hymnal. So I called him up and said, look, we're going to have this meeting. Let's you and I stand shoulder to shoulder. Right. So no one would say, Steve Nesmith said this, and this is not kissing with the mayor people. He said, you're right. Let's make sure the MOU, we are standing together in messaging and what we communicate. So we're going to do a lot more of that right. we'll be presenting together, and I won't be doing it by myself. And that. So, yeah.
Right. Good job. Thank you.
So I want to go right into our real estate development updates. The first one up is on Gilpin Court and the redevelopment. We talked a little bit about that just now in the meeting we had at Mount Maria Church. And obviously that meeting centered a lot on what's called the first build small project that we have there in Gilpin. It is not the larger 10 to 12 redevelopment phases. It's a small project there to 56 units. It's just to, show the residents that we can do what we promise we can do when the larger redevelopment starts. Get the residents engaged, try to figure out what sort of short-term workforce training they need to get the limited jobs that are come out of that small project, and show that we can do a different and better way of resident engagement. So we're excited about it. There's some very specifics, and I'll turn to Sherelle and see if she has some additional items about what's up next and what we plan to do. And yes, we do plan, what's up next is to immediately talk with them about how many jobs, won't be that many jobs, a small little project, but how many jobs, what type of jobs? There may be some where you don't need to get any job training. Maybe it's just temporary and we can get some of them young people to do some cleanup work or whatever. We'll figure all that out. And you and I talk, and we're going to get KBS on the phone and ask them what sort of projections that they have. As you know, when any company comes to any community, they always project, well, so-and-so's coming in and they're projected to, produce 10 jobs or 100 jobs, whatever it is. And so we're going to have that conversation. Sherelle?
While Ms. Sherrill is getting ready too, I want to say that Josh, our developer for this project, is very engaged in this. So it's not like you have to push him down the road and see how you can get him involved in this community workforce activity too, because he knows that this is something that they're going to need on the project anyway. So I was happy to hear him make the comments that he made. He's been very positive on things.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sherelle, additional comments?
Yes, thank you, CEO Nesmith, and to Vice Chair Parker and all commissioners in attendance. In your packets, you have the full presentation from that community meeting. So just wanted to make sure that you had that and could view the information that was shared with the residents and the Greater Jackson Ward community at large. So that's in your packets. We will be joining with the city. Normally when we have a in-person resident meeting in about a week to 10 days, we have a virtual CNI stakeholder meeting. We will be joining with the City of Richmond's planning department on the next one coming up. So we'll share more information when we get dates and things from them. There is a schedule in here that will tell you our next meeting will come late August, early September. We've been doing them every 2 to 3 months. And so you will see that in this presentation. And it will, at that time, we will be sharing more on the workforce development and training component. You have in your packets as well your narrative report that goes through all of our projects, but that's all I had on Grace. On Gilpin at this time, unless there are questions.
I don't have any questions, Ms. Sherrill. Thank you for your report. But I do want to back up and ask our chairman, Chair Jackson, because he was there at the meeting too, if he had any specific comments that he'd like to make. He did speak at the meeting too, so I don't know if he had anything to address at this time. And the same for Commissioner Pitchford. If there's any comments that you'd like to make as a result of your attendance at that Gilpin bill first meeting.
No, I don't have any comments outside of it was a great meeting. It was well. The information that went forth was very fluid. There was good input from the community, and I look forward to having more collaborative efforts between us and the city so that we can continue to grow this information so that everyone is aware on the same page.
Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Pitchford.
Just a second.
Yeah, we had a wonderful, in my opinion, meeting. I like what Mrs. Hampton expressed a comment. She responded to a comment that was about the elevators or how that could be, how was that going to be handled. Ms. Hamilton addressed it very professionally and let them know that these are choices that, that one would have to make. And I thought that was a very good response because she laid the foundation, and along with the developers laid the foundation that we as tenants, because I am a tenant of Gilpin, have choices. And if that is not the choice at that time. It doesn't meet the qualifications that we as tenants would think it should, there will be other alternatives later down the plan. And I like the way our CEO expressed his introduction and how he took his time when he was talking to everybody, didn't rush the conversations, answered the conversations. And I like the way the developer presented 3 different images of how the apartments could look based on um, if it's going to be traditional or historical and all of that. So I was pleased with what I heard, and I didn't hear any oppositions to that. And I, even afterwards, some tenants expressed their hopefulness of the project. So we're looking forward to hearing more as the plan develops. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes,
I may,
please.
at this time,
Please.
just add for Gilpin, there will be a survey working with our communications department beginning the week of July 6th and ending the week of July 20th. Somewhere in there, we will be having a survey so the residents can vote on, and they will have not only electronic access to the survey, but they will have a box with the voting materials placed at the property management office for that 2 weeks. We will allow 2 weeks for them to vote and share their thoughts on the traditional versus more conventional for the facade, the exterior look. We have also asked that the Jackson Ward community also provide a written letter for their thoughts on the facade design. So we'll be putting that out, but I wanted to add that
Thank
to the
you.
Gilpin report.
Good information. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair, the next item on the agenda is subsection B, 400 East Gray Street. The good news about 400 Gray Street is that, I think it's important for the record, is that we have language in the agreement that says that they're looking to close on that project on or before September 30th of this year. And that even if the project slips a bit and they'd say it closes in October, it doesn't matter. On or before September 30th of this year, they will pay us $4,700,000 and some change. And so we're really happy about that. We're engaged with them to ensure that the timetable that we have and meeting some of the additional city HUD and Virginia Housing requests, that they are on schedule. So that's it on 400 East Gray Street.
What's the timeline against Steve?
Right, so-
Between August.
Right. We hope that sometime in August or September that they will close. But we have language in the agreement, strict language that says that even if the timeline goes beyond September 30th, they are still obligated to pay us $4,700,000 and change. But we still want them to close on time. So we are working with them on their timeline schedule. The next item is is Creighton Court, and boy, today was a sight to be seen at Creighton Court. I mean, my gosh, it was mayor and all his people, president of city council. We had board members out there handing out keys, and I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but I'm going to keep saying it. Commissioner Johnson, you there?
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how many hot dogs or lunches or breakfasts you owe me, but we're handing out keys again, man. And I'm gonna get tired of handing out keys. You said that was a measurement of how you were going to measure how well I was doing as CEO. So I've been handing out keys, but I haven't gotten a hot dog from you or anything bag of chips. We handed out keys and residents were crying. It was a great day.
Hurry, I'm gonna tell Santa Claus. He making his list and checking it twice.
Okay. It was a great event. Our chair gave some, I think, incredibly passionate. Chair Jackson gave some passionate closing remarks at the event. Mayor Vula was great. He and I were sitting next to each other, and we were talking about some next steps on some exciting things together, which we're going to keep close hold. But Mayor and I were there. Our very influential State Senator Bagby was there, and we had a good time. He made a couple of jokes on my behalf, but that's fine. And more important, we had the residents there. And to see the residents when they were given the key and the emotion of joy, amazing. I was talking to Commissioner Brody moments ago, and she said she took a tour of the actual units. I'll let her speak, but units, and so I won't steal her thunder, but she said she was going to move in if those folks didn't move and relocate. She going to move in there. But I want Commissioner Brody, and I want you to give, maybe Chair Jackson might want to say a few words too, though. But it was, my comments were short, but I said we were all joined in common cause. And that's what it was. And it showed how RRHA is the leader, can bring everyone together. People in the affordable housing community that hadn't shown up in a long time was there. So I don't know, Commissioner Barrow, do you want to say a few things?
I just was telling everyone it was beautiful. Well put together, layout is beautiful. I kind of made a joke. Everybody was in there. I was like, all right, y'all, get your stuff and get out my house. No, seriously. No, it was just, even though it wasn't my family chance to move, to know that other people's children no longer have to be in cinder blocks is a major accomplishment from someone that lives in public housing. To know that somebody's babies now can get up and go to school with adequate heating and air and proper water, is washer machines and dryers in the unit. That means that you no longer have to walk to the laundromat or find a way to the laundromat because our units don't hold dryers. So even if you wash the clothes, you still have to hang them on the line. What's to happen? Somebody may steal your clothes off the line. So just standing in there, a lot of emotions came across me, like just one more family, a couple of more families that don't have to deal with some of the things that come with public housing. So I'm not knocking public housing. Public housing has been good to me and my family many years. But to see families coming out of public housing is definitely, definitely joyful.
Chair Jackson, did you have any comments you wanted to make?
I share in Commissioner Brody's sentiment, and it was a day full of joy. As Commissioner Brody was speaking, what I heard was hope. For so many families and so many people, you think about generations of families who've been through Creighton Court, some of which are now buried across the street. But to know that they have a choice and that the process is working. And I think it's being very much recognized. I salute the work that you guys are doing, us collectively. We move as a unit, and it's just a blessed day. And it's great to be a part of that and to really see our mission statement in action.
Thank you, Chair. Steve?
The next item on the agenda is Mosby Court. And of course, we know that 2 weeks ago, we had the joy, again, as Chair Jackson said, our mission in action. 2 weeks ago, Monday, City Council, let me say this word, unanimously, I'm going to say it again, unanimously approved RHA moving forward with the redevelopment of Mosby Court South with the administration. That was a big, big, big day. Of course, prior to that, we went to the Planning Commission, and they agreed as well. So we are really excited. We have worked with the developer to create a timeline of things that we need to get done and to get to sometime in the fall when President Newbill will submit a letter, will ask for a letter of support from Mayor Vula to submit a Section 18 application, what we were trying to do with Gilpin. And so there's lots of work to do between now and that time. But we are enthusiastic. We had breakfast this morning with the developer, the president, and he is just overjoyed. And so lots of things are moving really in a positive direction. And Mosby Court is one of them. I don't think we have anything else on that. I want to move to, I do want to mention one other thing, and I forget, and that is with Gilpin Court. And that is, I'm announcing to everyone that we now have a final memorandum of understanding. And it's a big, 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 big day. I'm gonna clap a little bit on that because all the lawyers have signed off on it, all the policy, we're in agreement totally. And so the mayor and I talked about that too. And I said, there's Maryville, there's a lot of people in this town were betting that this day would never happen. And I said, it's great. And so he's overwhelmed in joy, but it's done. And so there's a schedule we have now, tentatively. I won't get ahead of the mayor, but tentatively this month, it's almost the month of July, it'll be introduced early July to city council, and simultaneously it comes directly to this board, the commissioners.
We have a signing ceremony or anything of that nature?
Well, the schedule now is that hopefully city council, with all the steps that it has to take, city council, if the schedule holds July 31st, something like that, city council would sign off on it. And yes, there will be a huge signing. It would be, community leaders, advocates, city council, commissioners, the mayor. Yeah, it would be, that would be a big day. Odie and the folks are trying to, they're going to plan for that, but they don't want to get ahead of themselves because it's got to go to city council. And so, there may be amendments to it and this and that, but I just wanted to talk about that. So the next time is Faye Towers on the agenda, and Faye Towers, I'm going to turn that over to Sherelle to talk about where we are. We do know we'll be voting on something here today on it, but the original winner, competitive, who won Faye Towers, could not financially believe they could carry the project to its conclusion. And so then under the procurement rules, following our director, VP for procurement, it went to the second highest bidder, and that is RRHA. And we had a nice conversation with RRHA talking about their obligations around minority women owned and all that. And they are committed, and we'll be coming out with, we told you, with something that's more substantive that you can find. But I'll turn it over to Ms. Sherelle, and she have comments about Faye Tower.
Thank you, Mr. Nesmith. We have an action item. The board approved on June 17th the selection of the developer or substitute developer, which was RRHA. RRHA is using its subsidiary known as RRHA Communities. You have the resolution, and attached to the resolution in your packets is the executive summary and the business terms. And so the June 17th authorization by this board authorized the CEO to negotiate with the selected developer and its developer partner entity to come up with a set, or to really define the business relationship. There are 5 main points that come out of that.
Can we talk about that when it comes to the resolution? When we vote on the resolution, we'll go to that.
I can.
Yes, we could.
Okay.
So the next item on the next item on the agenda, sir, is a Section 3 in MBE WE report that I know you're looking forward to.
Yes. Ms. Colleen.
Good
Today came quick, didn't it? We talked yesterday.
We did, and see, and you thought I was supposed to present this to you last night.
Thank you, Colleen.
You're welcome, sir. So tonight, good evening, commissioners and staff. Today, I'm presenting to you the June, I forgot to put June on there, MBE Section 3 report for your review. As you can see, we still continue to do very well with our participation. I'm surprised right now we're at 38% for our not Section 3, our MBE. And that is mostly because of the project optimization that we're doing right now. We have several MBE participants in that program, and we're shelling out a lot of money to them. So that's helping us meet that goal very well. But we sit very good with our other sections as well. As you know, WBE is at 13%, and our Section 3 is right at 25%. So I think we're doing pretty good so far. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't want to, well, yes. Well, anybody have any questions? Any of the commissioners? Okay, my only question, I know in the past you've done some things, this is a marvelous job too, and I appreciate what you're doing with this. My only thing is, I'd like to see some names like you had before.
Like I had before? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At one point in time, you had some.
I did. I was just trying to consolidate it into one paper,
even if
but
it takes 2 pages or whatever.
Okay.
I think
will
it's just good
put it back
because
on there.
it just adds more credibility.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we got credibility here, but I'd like to add a little bit more when somebody says, well, who is it? You know, and that was really doing volumes back then. So if you can come back the next time with that, I sure would appreciate it.
I will add it back in, sir.
Thank
no
you, ma'am.
problem. Ms. Pitchford?
Yes.
Yes. Excuse me. I want to commend Miss Colleen on her keeping on her goals and objectives, because I was keeping up with her.
Thank you.
And I was crossing them out as she reached it, as she presented it. But one thing I wanted to mention, since you all changed over the portal for the contractors to submit all documents, how is that going?
Which portal are you talking about?
The portal that they have to
When they're
procurement. I'm not talking about nothing else but
Right.
procurement.
So when they're putting their bids in.
Yes.
Okay. So we use the state's website, which is EVA, and that's totally controlled by the state. That we have nothing to do with that. They, as far as I know, we haven't had any issues recently. They just upgraded their system not too long ago, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. Before that, we had experienced a couple instances where the vendors had said they tried submitting their paperwork, but it wasn't going through. And unfortunately, that's nothing that we could do. We had, encouraged them to reach out to EVA to try to work that out with them. So as far as I know, since then, we have not had any other issues with that.
Okay. And do we have any preferred, how they treated the preferred, do we have a preferred procurement list?
No, everything's done under contract.
Okay.
So, we have the different solicitation types. You have your IFB, which is based off of price, your RFP, which is based off of an evaluation factors, and then your RFQ is based off of qualifications. Okay. So with the IFB, that's lowest cost, most responsive bidder gets that, right?
Okay.
And then with an RFP, there's, like I said, evaluation factors, and there's scoring that goes on with that. So it's usually the highest score bidder that is awarded the contract. And an RFQ is qualification based only. We don't even really, we look at the price, but that's not even a consideration, that we're only looking at their qualifications.
Okay.
So because of that, with the IFBs, we can't pick our vendors.
Okay.
That's what the solicitation process is for, to pick our vendors for us. Now, if we have issues with vendors, we encourage our staff and all to let us know. put in
Okay.
complaints, whatever, so that if we have a bidder that bids on our projects that might not be a very good contractor, we have something to back us up for saying, no, we're not awarding this to you, even though you were the lowest bidder because of such and such.
Oh,
So
okay.
no preferred, we do have contracts where we have multiple vendors
Mhm.
doing the same thing, but we
Mhm.
try to spread it out evenly between all of them as far
Okay.
as the work is concerned.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, and then the last thing, I was just trying to make sure that when we had the conference over there at Hilton,
Mm-hmm.
and you had came back with this pie shape. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So how is that going? How is are any gaps in that, or are you finding compared to that year and this year, is it closing or is it about the same percentages that you did?
Oh,
And
no,
if so,
I
what?
think our percentages have gone up exponentially since that time
Okay.
period. Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah, I just went over
Yes,
some
ma'am.
stuff and when I came back. So,
Right,
but I'm
no,
not gonna ask no more questions.
okay.
Good questions. Thank you. Appreciate that,
Okay.
Commissioner.
And
Please.
that's all.
Mhm. And also, I was, discussing with Steve, as you were mentioning just now, you're looking at, what is it, $18,579 and 48 cents. Is that what we have here on your chart?
Oh,
Actually,
that's how much we've paid out
Yeah.
to contractors this
That's-
year. Yeah, so
That's a
far.
lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That is a good money coming back into our community.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
So,
it's
I mean,
making
when you-
value to.
I beg your pardon?
It's adding value.
Yeah, and the
exactly,
thing
yeah.
is too, if you look at this number here
Mhm,
is the goal line, which is the second line.
mhm,
That goal is based on all contractor payments.
mhm.
So these are contractor payments for people that don't even qualify or fall into any of these categories. We're looking at the whole thing. So, our goal, RRHA goal was only 12 million, but we've paid out 18 million. So I think we're doing very well, very well. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you did a good job. Okay, thank you. Any more, Ms. Pittsford?
Oh,
or-
no.
Okay, Mr. Elliott, do you have any comments at all? And Ms. Brody? Okay, we're fine. Okay, so we need to go to the resolution. Is that where we are now?
that is correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Chair Parker. Resolution 2026-24 is a resolution approving the term sheet with Historic Restoration Incorporated for the redevelopment of Fay Tower and authorizing the Chief Executive Officer to proceed with negotiation of a master development agreement. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Motion by Parker, seconded by Commissioner Pitchford. Is there any discussion or questions? And I know Mr. Nesmith and Ms. Hampton is available for questions and discussion.
And Mr. Vice Chair, I'm going to read to you the terms that the board gave me the ability to negotiate these terms, and we did so with Tag and Associates. I think it's particularly important because the terms negotiated in this particular agreement mirrors the terms that this board agreed to in the Gilpin Court agreement. I think it's important because I want to point out that the one term provision we have in the Gilpin Court Master Development Agreement, we termed it in a funny way. We call it the Bill Johnson rule, but the rule was, and it was straightforward language that said that the developer must re-engage in redevelopment back into the community vis-a-vis what the residents want to do. We incorporated that rule. That was about 2.5 years ago. That's when then Chair Johnson said to me, what are these developers doing and what can we do about it? You've been in financial services. And I said, well, why don't we do something similar to what banks have to do in terms of their community reinvestment? And I said, let's do that. Let's do resident reinvestment. And we jokingly called it, the board member you recall back then, the Bill Johnson rule. That same rule carries itself over into this agreement as well. So that's the first thing I want to say. And second, there are 5, I think, although there are other miscellaneous, I would say, terms, important terms within the agreement. There are 5 main things that we negotiate with tax commission. They are this document for you, which is the business term sheet. It covers the basic financial and operational arrangement for undertaking with HR and who is our developer of Fay Tower. This term sheet will serve as the basis for the master development agreement, which will come before this board for a vote. And it will be executed by RRHA and RRHA in a similar fashion it was done, as I said earlier, with Gilpin Court. Again, the major terms of this business terms, they mirror the key business terms that this board unanimously voted for on the Gilpin Court Master Development Agreement. The second item, the business terms provides that RRHA, if it chooses, to cover 50% of the pre-development costs, we will earn, we're not giving away property anymore, right? We will earn 40% of the developer fee. And if we choose to have HRR cover the pre-development costs, we will earn 35% of the developer fee. So if we had asked HRR, the developer, to cover the pre-development fees, we will receive 35% of the development fee. If we don't, then we will receive 50% of the developer fee, which is a big deal. That developer fee split is consistent with best practice in terms that are similar for large-scale redevelopment with most public housing authorities and third-party developers. For example, in Creighton Court, we only earn 25% of the developer fee. And so this, again, has been negotiated that mirrors the Gilpin Court, which we did exceedingly well. Third, the business terms provide that RRHA will earn 50%, let me say it again, 50% of all the cash flow for the project. That's a big deal. Prior I got here, we were not doing that at all. In some instances, before I got here, I heard we should just give away the stadium and do all kinds of things. But this board, you also me to bring some business acumen to our redevelopment negotiations. And now we're negotiating in a way which we can earn revenue. And that's what we have to do, given that HUD in DC has been reducing our revenue. So that's a big deal. 50% of all cash flow we get. Fourth, contained in the document is that HRI, the developer, will actively, that's the word, pursue Section 3 hiring for MBE and WBE participation. And do so in what way? In full compliance with this board's policy that you all set for MBE, WE in hiring and participation. So we will ensure that, and you and I had a conversation that we will be ensuring, I'll be talking about to make sure that for all our contracts, to make sure, and I'm to look at my side eye, the chief compliance officer, to ensure that that contractors are meeting those obligations, and we'll be looking to give you some backup, some reports on that. So that's a good thing, right? So they have to comply, be full compliance with this board's new policy. Fifth and last, the business terms, unlike Gilpin Court, this is an extra item for us. Unlike the Gilpin Court agreement, RRHA can assume the role of sole and managing member at the time of its choosing after the completion of the project. That's a big deal for us. That's a big deal for us. So at the completion, we can choose. They exit out, and we become the sole and managing member at the time of the document. That is great. But, and up until the time that we choose or don't choose, we will always hold no less than 50% interest in what's called a general partnership. Those are the main business.
Are there any comments? Commissioner Pitchford, you have any comments, please?
Yes, are we talking about unrestricted dollars, or are we still talking about, that we will get, is it unrestricted dollars, and where will if it's unrestricted dollars, what part of the budget will this go into? I mean, what type will it go into?
Sure. So, yes, it'll be unrestricted dollars. Unrestricted dollars, they sit as a balance sheet matter. They sit on the RDC balance sheet. Yes.
Commissioner Elliott?
What is the anticipated or expected start date for the redevelopment?
Right, for Fay Towers, it is February of next year, but I'm gonna let Ms. Hampton talk a little bit about that.
Commissioner Elliott, I didn't hear your question.
I apologize. The question was, when is the expected start date for the redevelopment?
Fay Towers.
Fay Towers.
Fay Towers,
Towers.
February of next year.
No,
No?
if I may provide
Yes.
some clarification, Mr. Nesmith, Fay Towers will not begin. They're doing will start pre-development. If this body approves, it will be 28 or 29, late 28. They're trying to phase it. The first bill first will come on, and they will begin construction hopefully in February of 27. Bill first 1. This is bill first 2, and so it will be late 28, early 29.
But pre-development would begin shortly after this body approves an agreement.
Pre-development will probably begin within 90 to, I'd say, 120 days. They're trying to get, and that may be, and I want to temper that because they have to apply for funding. So again, and zoning, and we're looking at all of that. So I wanted to say 120 days that they will start pre-development activities, but that may be pushed back a little. We want to make sure that we get bill first number 1 in a good position that it can close and start construction in February. So I would say our pre-development activities would begin maybe between March and June of next year on this project. There are some things they can do now, but I just want to give that time because we're staging our projects.
And is identifying contractors and subcontractors part of that pre-development phase, or does that occur
That's later.
Got it.
That's later in the process.
Thank you.
And also, it's in your packet that was handed out to you. You already have the timeline for 26, 27, and 28. What they're doing with that.
That is bill first number 1. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions anyone have around the table? Patrick, we've got it back to you.
Yes, sir. If there's no more questions, we can move for a vote to recommend approval of the resolution to the full board. We're ready. We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Parker,
Yes.
Commissioner Brody,
Aye.
Commissioner Elliott,
Aye.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Pitchford.
Aye.
The ayes have it. This resolution will be recommended for approval to the full board.
Thank you.
Commissioner Parker just let me know that we plan on having at our next real estate committee meeting a organization who may be able to assist with satisfying the MBE requirements that we have put forward in this in the business terms for this agreement. Flip Inc. is a workforce development woman-owned, minority-owned business that helps train a cohort of apprentices and individuals who experience barriers to entry in the job market, who want to assist in the construction trades, particularly in clean energy. So to the extent that our developments will have utilize solar that we've discussed, or energy efficiency products, this could be a good organization to help facilitate that. So Ray Elliott, not related to me, is going to come and present at next month's real estate meeting. And I know a number of people in the room have had the opportunity to speak with her. So I think it's a good opportunity for partnership and to get satisfy our MBE requirements.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner Elliott. I wanted you to set that up because I wanted to make sure that Ms. Brody heard it and Ms. Pitchford heard it, and they can go back into the community and let people know you need to be at that meeting and listen to hear what the opportunities are, so that you don't get it secondhand. You'll be right on top of things, and let's bring that to the meeting and have a clear discussion on what the future looks like. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you, Commissioner Elliott. I appreciate that. Is there any other thing that we have on the table, Patrick? Any other thing on the table? We have Mr. Nesmith.
No, we do not.
Okay, Eric, I noticed your second meeting. I don't want to put you on the spot, but you want to make any comments or anything?
Thank you, Vice Chair Parker. No, I'm just happy to be here. I look forward to working with Ms. Hampton and Mr. Nesmith and the team, and you as well. And I'm just here to work.
Excited about you too.
Yeah, if I could say a few things, I was holding off. I said that, yeah, but since you mentioned his name, I was going to hold off and wait till the full board meeting to formally introduce Eric as the new VP in the real estate committee, and I'll wait until that time to fully introduce him and talk about the things he's doing, working with Senior Vice President Sherrill and some CEO initiative that he's undertaking. So I'll wait till the full board meeting to
thank you so much.
Share all that.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and appreciate you making your comments, Ms. Sherrill, and breaking things down the way you do for us, and so that we can continue moving forward, because we're at a pivotal point now, and we're getting a lot of things accomplished, and I'm excited about the way we're going. Colleen, did you have any other comments, or where are you at this point now? You're done? Okay. Thank you, sir. What's that? I said thanks for asking. Yes. And Tonice, you're fine. We're legally doing everything we should be doing legally. Okay. And Commissioner Brody, anything further? Thank you once again, Commissioner Elliott, and thank you all for your presence here. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.